Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Welcome in. 100.7 The Score. It is the End of the Bench. I'm Rob Breaux alongside Craig Wells. Lucas White back in the building. We are in the First United Bank studio. You can call in, as always, on the Visual Edge IT hotline, 806-771-0973. You can also hit us up on the Yates Flooring Center chat line, as you do so well on the website, doubleTSportsNetwork.com. Just go to Listen Live. Click over to 100.7 The Score. The chat wall is there. You can also hit us up on the apps, brought to you by Happy State Bank. One of the greatest banking institutions run by some incredible people in the past and currently the future.
Financial wizards.
That's what I've heard.
They are.
All right, let's get into some football right off the bat.
3-0, baby. Big game.
Texas Tech football too. Huge game coming up.
Yep.
I was going to hit Monday Night Football, but
Monday Night Football.
Jump into that.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker. Touchdown maker. When the Texans went for it on fourth down with like 10 minutes left in the fourth, I thought, now you've done it.
So you say I got a chance.
I liked going for it there. Similarly to, I didn't like Kenny Dillingham kicking the field goal.
Yeah.
But what, he was inside the 2, and they ran like the fade kind of throw?
Yeah.
You either have to hit the flat or run the ball.
Totally agree.
Or the hard back shoulder and not the floaty.
Is that what that was?
It was a floaty.
Where he threw 4 foot into the stands? Yeah. I mean, I thought he just he didn't even come close.
Yeah,
I mean, you got to drill it right in front of him, or you got to run.
Yeah, or put even more arc that it lands in the end zone. So,
but he was out of end zone almost. I mean,
really, really bad execution on fourth down.
Totally.
I thought it was over. And then you have the blocked punt, a couple of field goals, some touchdowns. The Texans did not look very good. C.J. Stroud did not look very good.
Boy, he did not.
But then they took the lead with, 2 minutes to go. And Baker, as he often does, turned it on.
How many kickoff returns, punt returns? The only difference between a good one and a not good one is they didn't call the infractions. They're there. They just didn't call them. I mean, every single time.
I thought Jalen Noel was going to take that out of the house, and then obviously that was a penalty there. But
I mean, it's just it's amazing to me, and I understand those guys are special teams players. They're trying to make the squad or stay on the squad, and they're doing anything and everything they can to do their job. But, I mean, there seems like a block in the back, a hold, something every kickoff and punt return in the NFL.
I wonder if that's an emphasis, a point of emphasis, and that'll even out.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because they part of it on the kickoff returns, I think they're returning like 80% of the kicks now, or the most since like 6 years ago. They finally got what they wanted, the kickoff return. But now they're just calling penalties every time. Just don't call penalties. Either let them kick it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Or through the back of the end zone, I mean. Or let them kick off return. Because it just you want the exciting play, and then it's like, oh, yeah. Oh, no, all right.
Well, it also, to me, and it puts a little more judgment into it, but if it doesn't have anything to do with the play, don't call it. I mean, to me, it's just like in college basketball. if a guy is over there in the corner fouling somebody and the ball's going up with a hoop over here on the side, it's if it interferes with the play of the game and the ability to defend or score, then you call it.
There's one penalty this weekend, I can't remember a game or whatever, but the defensive lineman was offsides. So he jumped early, and then the offensive lineman in front of him got called for holding. So they offset, but I think if the defensive player was offsides and the offensive player was called for holding, that should be neglected because the defensive player forced him to hold because he got a head start.
He had already had. The play was over when he jumped the gun.
Yes.
So yeah, and somebody, Lucas, you and Rob, help me here. Somebody explain to me what pass interference is. I'm telling you, I can't. They run down that sideline, and they're pushing, shoving, holding, scratching, and nothing's called. Next time a guy turns his shoulder, as he's turning his shoulder, he hits him. There goes the flag. I just don't understand what the call is. If as far as the contact portion of it, apparently
you almost have to learn the individual officials' preferences.
Yeah.
Because it's open to interpretation.
Yeah.
So if you have this crew and you're on the right sideline, you're probably going to get that call.
Yeah.
But if you're on a different crew in the left sideline, you might not get the call.
Yep.
Something we didn't talk about yesterday, now that we're just talking about officials. Chris Need's probably going to text me in a minute.
Huh.
The NFL's, and I don't know if this is a new rule or maybe they started it a few years ago, I think, where every play offsets every penalty in the play or dead ball. Now, the Cowboys scored on the next play anyways on 3rd and 9. But there was a play with a defensive hold, a roughing the passer, and something else. The Giants had 3 penalties inside the play. And then after the play was over, C.D. Lamb did a little pointy point.
Yeah.
Oh, it was pass interference too.
Yeah.
It was roughing the passer, pass interference, and something else. They did a little pointy point, and so they flagged him for taunting, which I thought was ridiculous because those guys are doing that every play. But I guess he did it right at him. I don't know. I don't know what that was. They offset, so it was 3rd and 9.
Yeah.
It should have been 1st and 10 from the 30.
One team gets 4 flags. The other team gets 1 flag.
It all offsets.
And they all offset. I mean, how that?
And 3 of them were in the play, and 1 of them was after the play. They should have taken one of the inside the plays and the outside the play.
Yep.
It should have been first, and it probably wouldn't have been good for the Cowboys, except it would have been first down, but even further back. I don't know. It does not make sense to me.
I happened to be in my truck at the time, and I was listening to Brad Sham. I almost fell out of my chair. I mean,
I'm sure he was.
He just went nuts.
Yeah.
He just saying, "Wait a minute, 4-1, and you're telling me?" I mean, he just went.
I was
crazy.
doing the same.
Yeah.
Brad's great.
Yep.
You can listen to Brad Sham on Double T 97.3 every Cowboys game.
Guy's good.
He's good. One of the best.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. Double T 97.3 featuring the Rangers Astros today from the Rangers perspective. Of course, right here on 100.7 The Score. The Astros perspective. We are the home of the Astros. 7 o'clock tonight. After the high school fan zone here on 100.7 The Score, featuring Monterey and Coronado with Randy Rosetta. 6:30 pregame on Double T 97.3. Tech Talk will take you all the way there. Rangers Astros, just real quick before we check the calendar. Astros 5 wins. Rangers 6 wins. They play 13 in a season. The Astros need to sweep the Rangers to win the Silver Boot. They've won what feels like the last 20 of them. I'm not going to take any solace in missing the playoffs, but winning the Silver Boot. I'm not going to say I'm doing that publicly, but privately. Privately, Craig, can we turn off the mics real quick? That's my Super Bowl this year. The Rangers have to win one of the next two. They have to. I'd rather win the series and be in a position to make the playoffs, because I think you're dead in the water again. Of course, I've said that a bunch of times this year. I think you're dead in the water if the Astros sweep you, just because they would put more space between you. And mathematically, they already need to lose more than you to get in because they're in front of you. That's how math works. That's how games work. But just winning one of the next two would go a long ways to at least ease my mind down the stretch. My Astros buddy texted me after the game last night and just said, Astros win. I responded, it's football season. He said, source? I just sent him a picture of my TV with the Raiders and Chargers game. It's been football season, and, I generally keep up with the Rangers all the way through, but now that they're back in the playoff race, it's a little more prevalent. I watched the Rangers-Mets in the press box during the rain delay, though I didn't check in until the rain delay started. But, man, this is a big series for both these teams. We didn't talk about it much yesterday with everything else going on, but the Astros have to win. They're trying to get back in that divisional lead. They're in the West with the Mariners a half game up. The Rangers have to win because, well, they're 2.5 back of the wild card. But beyond that, it's the Silver Boot. And I don't know that matters in professional sports, but I'd like to think it does. It's not like, well, I would say not like college sports, but I don't know that regional rivalries matter much anymore anyways with all the movement and the transfer portal and whatever else. But it does feel like it's important to the fans.
Yeah. But it's amazing to me, Rob, how in professional baseball, it's the all or none theory. Either you had a good year and you were in the playoffs, or you need to start over, and make a bunch of changes.
Yeah.
And I think if the Silver Boot were one game, it would be humongous. But the fact that it's over about 8 games, I think to the players, I think it loses some luster. Especially
it's 13 out of 162.
Yeah.
It's just 13 games.
Yeah. But if it were, like I said, if it were a 3-game series and that's it, winning 2 out of the 3 would be a big deal, I think. And I still think it's a big deal, but I don't think it's as big internally as it is externally.
All right, let's check the calendar here, Lucas.
Your daily look at what's happening in the world of sports, birthdays, and holidays. Let's check the calendar.
It's National Guacamole Day.
Ooh, gotta love you some guac.
In or out on guac, Lucas?
1,000% in.
1,000%.
1,000.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
It's National Working Parents Day. National IT Professionals Day.
Couldn't do without them.
Working parents or IT?
Either one.
National Play-Doh Day. Were you a Play-Doh kid or get it for the grandkids or whatever?
Even with my own kids, I think we did our fair share of Play-Doh. I don't think it lasted very long. Seemed like it.
Yeah.
We would play real
get cracked.
Yeah, and we'd play real like every day for 2 weeks, and then we wouldn't touch it for 2 years. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if Play-Doh. I don't know when it reached its fever pitch, but it seems like when I was a kid, they started making all those like Play-Doh extruders where you could shoot the Play-Doh out in shapes
Yeah.
and whatnot.
They had a McDonald's one. You can make like
Yes.
French fries and
Yeah, you could shove them in, make the patties and whatever.
yeah. I like the way Play-Doh smells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
do.
sure, yeah.
No.
It's National Cinnamon Raisin Bread Day.
Ooh.
Solid.
Yep.
And Collect Rocks Day. You ever collect rocks?
No, I didn't go through the pet rock craze either. I never had.
That was
my
also
pet
from
rock.
when I was a youth. You painted
Yeah.
it and
Yeah.
put a face on it or whatever.
Yeah.
I had a rock shaped like a pickle for a long time that I found
There
in
you
my
go.
great granddad's. He didn't like to mow,
Yeah.
so he just filled in his front yard with rocks. It looked nice, and he maintained them well. It's also World Barber Day. Shout out to your barber. I wish I had one barber that I went to all the time. I can't ever find one.
20. Let's see. Probably about 80. About 46, 47 years, 45 years I've been going to the same barber.
Wow. Yeah. See,
Yep.
I need that.
Yep.
Birthdays.
We have quite a few. I'll be jumping around, but Earl Hershiser turned 67 years old today. Obviously, I didn't get to see him pitch, but he was from statistics and videos and whatever, he was a stellar pitcher for the Dodgers, of course. I think I have an autographed baseball of his
Ooh.
somewhere, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Florida turns 46 years old today.
Oh, What a Feeling? Is that the name of the big hit that they play
Yeah,
in some sports contests and so forth?
yeah, he's definitely put out some hits for sure. And then the rest of the list, which is interesting, all in between the ages of 30 and 33.
Huh.
So we've got Nick Jonas at 33 years old. And then we have at 32, we have Bryson DeChambeau, Mac Hollins, and Metro Boomin, all turning 32 today. And then at 30, we have Samaji Pirine and Aaron Gordon, also turning 30. And then two individuals that would have had a birthday, Elgin Baylor would have had a birthday, and guitarist B.B. King would have had a birthday
B.B.
today.
King. The king of guitars. All right, 1869, golf's first hole-in-one on Prestwick, Scotland's 8th hole. In 1937, here you go, Lucas, the Redskins' first game ever in Griffith Stadium versus the Giants. They won 13-3. And on September 16th, 2017, Nick Shimonik threw for 6 touchdowns. Dylan Cantrell had to go ahead score on a 3-yard run in the final 2 minutes. Tech beats Arizona State 52-45. In 2018, Mahomes set an NFL record, 10 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks of a season. And they went ahead and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers with his 6 touchdowns, 42-37. All on this day.
It also would have been Squire Whipple's birthday today.
Oh, Mr.
More after
Whipple.
this.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. There was some confusion earlier. I was talking about big games of the weekend. Craig said ranked games. I said Florida, Miami. Florida's not ranked. It's college game day. It's a college game day game.
Right.
Which
And-
is a big game because
Right.
that's going to be prime time ESPN, even though it might not should be.
And we might not get to see Billy Napier coach again.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't think they'll. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Steve Spurrier's available.
I guess if Miami beats them by 60, they might.
But Oklahoma, Auburn is the other ranked game.
Yeah. Indiana, Illinois, Oklahoma, Auburn, which I guess they would have gone Oklahoma, Auburn game day, but they just were in Norman.
Yeah.
And they just featured Oklahoma, Michigan. And then Indiana, Illinois, I'm a little bit surprised that Big Noon Kickoff isn't at that game, just because it's Big Ten. More surprised, even though it's probably on Fox, that College Game Day didn't go to that game. Not really surprised because ESPN is going to go to the ESPN games. And I think they're just going to end up going to whatever game's going to be on primetime because Kirk can't fly around with his dog too much.
Do you think when they're selecting those games that they look down there and they say, hey, we're not going to get many more chances to have, even if Utah's a good team or Texas Tech's a good team, we're not going to have many more chances to have them. So let's go ahead and take the network. And they say, let's go ahead and get a sure thing. We've got them both. Let's get this one. And then we'll worry about what happens later. Because you look at schedules and so forth, Tech's got a couple of big home games, Kansas and BYU, and if we're playing well and doing well, those are possibilities. On our campus, Arizona State, certainly when we play there, that's a possibility.
I think Fox probably does because they know they won't get every Big 12 game.
Yep.
And they're trying to have a renewed.
Right.
I think maybe they overshot their Big 10 cannon early.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, well, we also have the Big 12. We probably should look at them a little bit. And my hope is that Yormark called them.
Yeah.
And said, hey, you morons. We're also covered by you.
Yeah.
You can't have Big 10 logos everywhere talking about you're the Big 10 network. You're a college football network, you bozos. Wake up. That's my hope. I don't know that he did that.
Yep.
But it does feel like Fox has retracted and said, oh, yeah, we're college football.
Well, there was no doubt it was Big Ten territory for the first 2 weeks of the season.
They had it everywhere, and they got Portnoy in there. And then I think it was also brilliant to call Dave, because if you say, hey, Dave Portnoy, why don't you be involved with us? He'll go all in. He's certainly a guy like that, and you've seen him wearing Big 12 merch.
Yep.
I have a feeling he will go hometown and pick Utah and be a Utah guy this weekend, which doesn't bother me. In fact, I kind of prefer that he's on the Utah side of it.
But you know one thing, though, Rob, just like McAfee on ESPN, him getting to know something about Texas Tech is nothing but a positive. Because Texas Tech's not on Dave Portnoy's radar 6 weeks ago.
Well,
except for Mahomes, I think, maybe.
Yeah. Well, and the NCAA basketball tournament, because he's been in on some Tech games, and he's said in the past that we're dead to him as Texas Tech because we lost I think it was the Virginia game, maybe, the national championship. Anyways, I don't really care if Dave Portnoy knows about Texas Tech or is a fan of Texas Tech, but the Big 12, I think, is important that as a brand, you're talked about nationally. And more so than Barstool. Barstool is give or take. It's an internet company. It's all over the internet. I think Texas Tech does just fine on the internet. But the networks, to be involved and to not just have Big 10 logos everywhere on every Big Noon kickoff, a little bit surprised they picked the Big 12 game over the Fox game of the Big 10. But I do think that it's a big opportunity for Texas Tech. I think there's going to be 7 million people. That's a big number. 5.5 million people watching this game.
Yeah, I would not argue that point, especially at 11 o'clock, and that's Fox's big window, and I could see that. I can see 5 million because your normal game's 3.5, and I can see this being a lot better than normal.
Bobby Hot Dog says Big Noon Kickoff can stay away. 11 a.m. games are bad for fans at home games. Yeah, I don't mind if every road game is that. Big Noon Kickoff was in Lubbock last year, and the game was not at 11 a.m.
Yep.
So every big noon kickoff game is not at 11 a.m.
And I can't speak for every coach, but I can tell you a lot of them on the road would love to have an 11 o'clock game because you don't have to sit around and wait all day, and that just is not conducive to coming out and playing right off the bat. Whereas 11 o'clock, I think you're at your prime time.
Yeah, I don't mind 11. I mean, as a content producer in pre and post,
Right.
I like 11 a.m. games because I can just go to work in the morning and be done by a reasonable hour.
Unless we have a 2-hour rain delay.
Right. Well, even so, if it's at 2:30, I'm still home by 11.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But the 11 a.m. games, I don't bother with. But I do agree, for a fan perspective, I'd rather play in the afternoon or at night.
Yeah.
As a broadcaster's perspective, I kind of like the 11 a.m. game.
And it's a shame that we had the 2-hour rain delay because the weather was perfect. The crowd was good. The students showed up. I just thought that the Oregon State game was prime for having a good game, but the weather didn't cooperate.
In the moment, up in the press box, I was thinking, why in the world did they start this game?
Yeah.
If you knew that front was coming.
Yeah.
If there was, because before kickoff, we had seen there was lightning X amount of miles away, right off the range of what it is to have to postpone a game. Maybe you're hoping it breaks up. It's Lubbock. But even if you said, hey, let's postpone just 30 minutes and just see what happens, you could have avoided starting that game and then whatever. But somebody said to me, well, you kick that game off at 2:30, all those recruits are there. Do you want to see those recruits watching a delayed kickoff with a lackluster crowd or a Spitfire game starts on time crowd?
Yeah.
Hey, let's have those recruits. Rain delays are inevitable. Have the recruits watch a Spitfire, top of their game, tortilla toss. That sticks into a recruit's minds more than 70% or a 50% or a 30% tortilla kickoff.
Yeah, definitely was an advantage to go ahead and get started. TV
in the
dictates
recruiting,
that, I would imagine.
Recruiting too.
Yep.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
All right, let's do a couple burning questions here.
2 minutes of non-stop in-your-face inquiries with no end in sight. It's time for Burning Questions.
All right, this is a bit of a weird one, but I had a situation yesterday with a new driver, potentially, where we had a vehicle about, 3-4 miles away, residential mostly, no major thoroughfares. Okay? That's the scene. One car needed to get to the other car. New driver has driven, no license, but the cops are out there. Just chill out for a second. No license, but has driven with people.
Right.
Okay? Has not had a solo trip.
A learning driver.
A learning driver. But decent.
Right.
Okay, as new. Theoretically, this did not happen, but theoretically, if he had driven you to your car and then you were coming back to the same place with both vehicles, he would have been solo, but you would have been with him in the other car. Would you rather have led his car back or followed?
I think lead, because you lead by example when you're driving.
So the only thing is there's one stoplight, so you'd have to be careful not to leave him in the dust.
Yeah.
But, so you're leading by example and having him follow.
Right.
Okay, Lucas, would you lead or follow a new driver for his first solo trip?
I would follow. It's a it's not a family rule, but it's just something my dad's done, and I've kind of picked up on it. If my mom and dad are at a restaurant in separate vehicles, my dad will always follow my mom back home in case she gets a flat tire or she runs out of gas or anything. He's right behind her to make sure that she's all right. I do the same thing for my wife. If we go somewhere, I'm always following her, make sure that she's good. So I think following behind somebody would be a little more ideal in any scenario.
You could also predict, because I thought following too, because you could maybe judge or teach a little more if you're seeing him swerve or whatever else.
Yeah,
but I like the lead by example line too.
But I will tell you, I'm the guy that if somebody's following me and we're coming to a stoplight and it's green, I'll slow down and not give it an opportunity to go yellow, you're red, and lose my guy. If I do, I'm the guy everybody hates that's going 4 miles an hour in the lane waiting for the light to change.
Yeah.
I just on the other part of that, if I'm following somebody and they take off through a yellow light, I'm going, what are you doing? I mean, because they're not the ones that stay. They're five, and I'm looking for the top of cars for the color. That's all I'm looking for. So, that's a good question. That's because that happens to everybody.
Yeah. My dad is not quite as aware around red lights when you follow. You might accidentally. And then we were.
You're saying they're pink a couple of times?
We were. Well, no, he's not a dangerous driver. He's just not aware that the guy behind him.
Oh,
is
okay.
Right
All right.
We were in. Where did we go? Big Spring for the game.
Yeah.
So me and my dad are in the front car, and then the family's in the back car because we were calling the game. They were going to the game. We're going to a gas station on the way out of town after the game. Back roads away from the stadium. It's like outside of town almost. You're trying to get back to the interstate. And he just blows through this light. It's green, but it turns yellow, and it's like he would have had to really slow down, but if he was going slower, and then so I have to call the back car, and it's like I'm looking at my map. It's on North Wallaby Lane.
Yeah.
You take 2 lefts on the map, or you plug in this address. Because it was like a twisty thing to get to where we were going. All right.
Yeah, and that's happened to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. All right. Next question. I saved this for a segment of its own, but it fits right here. The Mahomes uniforms released yesterday. The icy versions, still galvanized steel numbers. Like, dislike, thoughts. We'll wear them against BYU at home. They're all white. BYU will be wearing all blue, 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 blue. You're going to wear white, white, white at home. It's Celebrate America Day.
Yep.
Red, white,
and blue.
It's also Hall of Fame Day, as B.J. Simmons, Ryan Aycock, and Adele Duckett are all being honored.
3 good ones.
Of course, others as well, but those are the football players.
Nobody going up on the wall, though, stadium.
No.
I like them. I really like them. And it's not fair because I'm really not judging them on their own. I'm judging them compared to the gray ones. I did not like the gray ones. I'm not a big gray guy for Tech, although I don't dislike them. It's not one of my favorites. But I really like the white ones. I think the icy color of the numbers is really, really unique, and especially with the red trim, you're going to be able to tell what those numbers are.
You can read them now.
Yep, and I'm anxious to see what white and white will look like with a white helmet. I think there's enough red with the double T on there and some kind of striping that it will offset good enough, but I really like the uniforms, the ice white uniforms.
Lucas?
I like them as well. My wife really likes them, but yeah, I can get behind it for sure.
What did she like about it? Did she say?
She likes it that it's Mahomes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was just about to say I liked the great ones because they were Mahomes.
Yeah.
These are 1,000 times better.
Yeah.
They look way better.
And it's a little bitty thing, but I love the Mahomes logo on there.
Yeah.
I really do. That's not a deal breaker, but I sure do like it.
I think it is a deal breaker. I agree.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. 100.7 the score is the end of the bench.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 the score. It's the end of the bench. Still rewatching some of this Texas Tech Oregon State game. I keep seeing new plays. It's just like both offensively and defensively.
Yep.
Like there's a play right there where you motion into a bunch. The front two guys of the bunch go out on deep routes, and Jacoby breaks off over the middle, and everybody's going with the other two.
Did you see that formation?
The sneak here.
Yeah, but look at the formation. Look on the right side, high right side.
All right, we'll do that as we go through. It's probably not great radio to just say, you see that? You look at that?
Yeah. But they see where Jacoby Williams is way behind. I just wonder if there's not a play set up for that somewhere, for that formation.
Can he throw the ball?
I don't know.
You know who's a former quarterback? Cam Dickey.
There you go.
Cam Dickey will throw for a touchdown this year.
There you go. Look for it.
I think he was a former quarterback, right? I'm fairly certain he was in high school. All right. I've got a moderately realistic, probably won't happen lineup that I'd like to see next year for the Texas Rangers. You ready?
Yep.
Now, I've not set the lineup, just the defensive alignment. Catcher, via trade, Adley Rutschman. He's getting pushed out there in Baltimore. He needs a change of scenery. They've got the new guy. He's playing, half the games, getting tossed around, DH, catcher. Give him the keys to the kingdom here behind the plate, and I think you'll have success. I don't know what exactly it takes to trade for Rutschman, though. I don't know that the Orioles have much leverage there because they have the other catcher, though he is young and is coming off a little bit of a down year for him, but has had success and is highly thought of. So I'd be interested to see what that looks like.
I would like a starting pitcher.
They would.
Baltimore would like a starting pitcher.
But they would have to trade. He's not a free agent.
Yeah, you got to trade him. Who is a free agent, though? And I'm just kind of bullying Lucas's teams here. First base, Pete Alonso. Pete Alonso. Now, I thought that he had signed. Did he just sign the 1 year? Okay. So Pete Alonso, a free agent after 2025. Bring him in. The polar bear at first base. Then he goes Simeon at second, Seager at short, Josh Young at third, Wyatt Langford left, Evan Carter center, Josh Smith at utility because he's going to play games at third, short, left, and center, and probably right at some point in the season. Now, if you told me, hey, Rob, you could just put Josh at right field, Smith, I would be moderately okay with that. But here's the deal. I really, really like Josh and his value, Smith that is, his value of playing where everyone else is not.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And especially on the Rangers because they needed that.
Absolutely. So right field currently open for me. There are options in free agency. Kyle Tucker, Cody Bellinger, Luis Robert Jr., Tyler O'Neill, Cedric Mullins, Michael Conforto. Now, not all these guys are right fielders. Starling Marte, another Met, Hunter Renfroe, Max Kepler. So I'm not going to give you the exact right fielder here. I'm just going to say sign or promote a right fielder.
Kyle Schwarber. You want to spend a lot of money?
At DH, Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
Now, he can also play some right field.
Yeah.
He can certainly stand out there often, but if you somehow kept Jake Berger or Rowdy Tellez, or you're not going to keep Rowdy Tellez, but if Jake Berger's still on the roster and he's the DH and Schwarber is right field, and you could potentially move all those guys around and have some opportunities, maybe that works. But I want Kyle Schwarber really bad as a Texas Ranger. And if he wants to play right field, you stick him in right field. If he wants to DH every game, you DH him. The dude is clutch. He's hitting big moments. Now, he fits in Philly. He is just like quintessential Philly. And I don't think they'll let him leave. But if I'm dreaming and I've got the energy sector at my back and don't care about the luxury tax because you avoided it this year, so you can go back to paying less luxury tax next year if you break the rules. I think.
Would make
I don't
sense.
know. Well, it may be like a what if like a certain amount of every 5 years, or if it's just back-to-back seasons, go for it again. And if you can go for it every 2 years, but you need a catcher. You need a first baseman. Adley Rutschman and Pete Alonso, I think, make that happen. They also talked about at the trade deadline that a Josh Young, Adley Rutschman 1-for-1 works or would work for Baltimore. Now, I don't want that to happen. But if the Rangers did that, then Josh Smith is probably just your third baseman.
Yeah.
So I do think that makes a little sense for the Rangers. Not a whole lot of sense for me and my party, but it makes a little sense for the Texas Rangers. So I could see something like that happening. Pete Alonso would be great. I don't know if you can get Kyle Schwarber, but right field DH you have to address as well.
Question. Who on the Rangers for a trade could bring you the most in return that you think they would give up?
Yeah.
And who is that is you think eligible to be traded, and who would you think would get the best return on your trade?
Who do I think that they would trade that would bring back, or that anybody's open?
No, would trade.
Probably Josh Young.
Okay.
I don't know, because I would say Jack Leiter. I think he's probably the most valuable.
So,
but like Seager's getting up there, you're not going to trade Corey Seager. He's your best player. You're not going to trade Wyatt Langford, I don't think. Evan Carter, is he more valuable than Josh Young right now? Jake Berger provides nothing. Jock Peterson provides nothing. Adolis is going to be a free agent. Kyle, that's my free agent. Josh Smith, I don't know that provides.
Simeon?
No.
He doesn't get you anywhere?
Not more than Josh Young, no.
Yeah, I agree.
How old is Marcus Simeon? He's 30, 33, 34? And he's signed for several more seasons as well.
I would, if opportunity arose, which I don't think it will for that very reason you just mentioned, I would trade him in a heartbeat for some production offensively.
Yeah, I don't know that you're going to trade Marcus Simeon
probably not
for anyone better than Marcus Simeon.
Yeah.
Especially not better and younger. Like, I don't think that works. Now, a Josh Young trade, you might go equal young for young, talent for talent at a different position. And if you think Josh Smith can be every day at third base, or you go Josh Smith and Ezekiel Duran are both replacing Josh Young.
Yep.
Or if it's Ezekiel Duran or Josh Smith or Josh Young, any of them for Adley Rutschman. I don't know who the Rangers value most out of that trio. I would assume At one point, it was Josh Young. It might be Josh Smith currently. They're both similar ages. But Simeon, I at the deadline for a contender, if you're out of it, Simeon probably draws some respect.
Yeah.
In the winter, I don't know that he commands a lot of.
What do you need
trade
worse,
value.
a bat or a closer?
Well, you need one closer. You need 4 bats. More after this.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. 100.7 The Score, End of the Bench. Ask The Benchwarmers. Coming up. Craig, are you familiar with SP Plus?
SP Plus, absolutely not.
It's an analytical metric from Bill Connolly at ESPN.
Okay.
And it's a rotating metric based on a selection of years that determines program health and standing in college football. So he takes a 5-year window, I think, 3 to 5 year window, and collects all the data, puts it into his mathematical algorithms, and spits out rankings. Texas Tech's defensive ranking.
The same years for everyone.
Yeah, it's
not necessarily the last 5 either, right? Is it the last 5 years?
Yeah, it's 3 to 5,
okay.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah, he didn't pick and choose.
Okay.
It's all the data from the last
okay.
3 to 5 years. I just didn't remember if it was 3 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but everyone has the same years. Yeah,
okay.
It's a standard model. So Texas Tech's defensive rating is bad. They've been really good this year.
Right.
But bad overall because it's a window.
That's why we went and got the players we did.
He tweeted today, current SP Plus rankings if based only on 2025. Here's the top 10 from here's the top 15 from 15 because Mississippi State's 15. Mississippi State, Nebraska, Illinois, Florida State, OU, TCU. That's 10. Missouri, Utah at 8. Washington, USC, Indiana, BYU at 4. Penn State at 3. Oregon 2. And the number 1 team, according to SP Plus, just based on 2025.
On defense.
Total. Offense, defense, special teams.
Okay.
Texas Tech.
That's pretty good.
Interesting.
Simply because everybody said, well, I haven't played him. Well, none of the other teams have played anybody either.
I would say none, but there's a lot of teams that have played similar schedules
some
to
of them
you.
have played one good game, against a ranked opponent or whatever.
Notre Dame's played 2.
Yeah.
They lost them both.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ohio
USF certainly.
State usually,
USF has several good games on their tally. So there are teams out there that have played good teams, but Texas Tech number 1. End sentence.
I like his algorithm.
Yeah.
Keep spitting it out.
I had wondered. I had forgotten that he did the rolling window, so I was shocked and curious why his algorithm had Texas Tech so low defensively the last couple of rankings. But that I had forgotten that, and now that I remember, it makes a lot more sense.
When you saw the list for the last 5 years, where was Texas Tech?
Well, the current rankings, they're all the way up in the top 25.
Okay.
Which is impressive. Which means,
obviously
they're number 1 this year. So on the rolling total of the last 3 or 4 years, because you've had some decent success in the last couple of years. Your offense has been ranked well on SP Plus. All right. This texter says, "Why do you always disrespect Texas A&M?" Because I'm a Texas Tech fan. It's a rivalry. Why should I respect Texas A&M?
Yeah.
That's another question.
I will give them a little bit of props. 15 out of the last 15 years, they would not have won the Notre Dame game. I mean, they'd have found some way to lose it. And I'm not real sure Notre Dame didn't lose it instead of A&M winning it. But
yeah, Notre Dame's defense was really bad.
Yeah.
And there was a no call and a holding on the last
Yeah.
play of the game that should have given Marcel Reed another chance to blow it. No, Marcel Reed's pretty good.
Yep.
He's pretty good.
Yep.
Much better than Connor Wegman last year. I'm not worried about Utah, but I don't think we'll win at Houston, says this texter.
They're all going to be tough. I'm telling you, all the road games are, really, especially.
Same texter says Tech has no rivals. All right. Well, they're my rival. A&M is Rob Breaux's rival. What is the ideal stadium seat? Not location. Seat. Aluminum seats. Red plastic chairs. The rocking chairs at Globe Life. Padded suite seats. What would you rather do?
I really don't care as long as they've got leg room.
Yeah.
To me, leg room is the most important thing. I mean, I'd rather have something to lean back on for sure, but a bench seat is fine as long as you're not cramped.
Yeah.
To me,
rubbing
that's
knees with the back of the guy in front of you.
A
Some of
seat
the-
with a cup holder in front.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I need.
I'm telling you, in the old seating configuration at Jones Stadium, when they had the hardwood back seats before they replaced them and everything, I'm telling you, anybody over 5'10" was scrunched. Yeah. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
There was just absolutely little or no leg room in some of those seats.
All right, next time you go to Globe Life, the section down the third or first base line, concourse level, but down,
Okay.
aisle seat, all of those seats are longer than the row in front of them.
Okay.
So you could put your feet out in front and cross your legs if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
And it's a good view. I like that view down there.
Yeah, I do too.
And you get the opportunity for a foul ball.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where I like sitting.
I know where to pick now.
Yeah, if you go to Globe Life,
Yep.
concourse level. So you just walk in, concourse, down 6 or 7, 10, whatever you want to go. But that first section down the concourse, Globe Life, aisle seat, you got all the leg room you want, Craig. You could be 7'2".
Yep.
And be comfortable there in those seats.
I will tell you, at Jones Stadium, section 105, I think it's row 34. It may be 32, but in the old days at Jones Stadium, they had these box seats with rails around them and so forth. Well, when they took those out and when they put those in, there was in front of this row a row missing so they could put those rails in. Well, when they took them out, they left it that way. You actually sit in your seat and you have a whole row missing before the next seat starts. And if somebody goes there, they're lost. You just don't go there, and they've got because of the old box seats, there's 2 aisles that come up in both ends. It's a treasured row if you're a big person.
Have you seen Utah fans trying to get Splash Mountain to happen? On their first touchdown, I believe, they want to throw water around.
In the bottle or just sling the bottle and let the water come out?
Yeah, they want to sling their bottles around and let the water land.
Okay, I have a lot of information that in my mind that Utah fans are very active on Twitter and X and whatever.
Uh-huh.
What is the negative? I mean, all I hear is Utah fans are out of line. What makes them that way? I mean, are they proud of their team and they're obnoxious, or
yes,
all of the above?
Yeah. They're not good trash talkers, but they're volume shooters.
Yeah.
and they treat Utah like Alabama. Like, just going to a Rose Bowl is their national championship. They haven't even won them, but they've gone to them. And they won the weakest Pac-12 that ever was a couple of times. And when the Pac-12 woke up and was like, oh, we better prepare to be in the Big Ten, they didn't win it anymore.
Yeah.
So, Camo asked a good question about Utah. I would like to have time to dig into it, so we'll prepare that for tomorrow.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.